Somehow, someway, Masahiro Sakurai came through with yet another banger presentation. This Kirby Air Riders Direct had the same general styling as the past Smash Bros. Presentations he did years ago, and just like those presentations, it was nice to see Sakurai talking about a game in detail again. This may not have been a 50-minute long deep dive, talking about the history of SNK, but from the start of it, you could tell how happy he was to finally work on a new game with his original creation. Early into the Direct, we learned that it wasn't Sakurai who brought up the idea of a new Kirby Air Ride. It was instead Shinya Takahashi and the CEO of HAL Laboratories. The fact that Sakurai wasn't the one to present this idea to Nintendo, and instead it was the other way around, was really interesting, and a look into how Nintendo might be producing games this generation. As someone who wanted a new Sakurai-directed Kirby game for years, I'm so glad that Air Riders exists in any form, and as a fan of Kirby as a character, I'm so glad that we're still eating good with releases. As usual, I streamed this Direct. Though I didn't have too much to say during the live stream, I still had a good time watching it, and like always, Nintendo Directs are some of the most entertaining industry presentations. We learned a lot about Kirby Air Riders. From new characters, in-depth looks at courses, new mechanics, city trial, new theme music, and so much more I'm forgetting about. Not to mention, we got the game's official release date. I never played Air Ride on the GameCube. I love mainline Kirby games, though never played it. So I'm definitely excited to try Air Riders. After this Direct, I'm even more excited than ever before. I want to stop and talk about the style and graphics of the game first, because that was the first thing we saw. At the Switch 2 reveal, we only got a brief glimpse at a cinematic cutscene, and now we know what the game will look like exactly. I'm so happy with what Bandai Namco and Sakurai cooked up. Sure, I don't really like how pixelated certain models look, but overall, the Kirby art style and general aesthetics look very nice and are very pleasing on the eyes. There's still a few months until the game comes out, and this video likely was made a couple months back, as it had to be completely translated to English, so who knows how much progress the game has made since then. If there's one thing this presentation was about, it was Sakurai's wit, charisma, humor, and most importantly, how happy he was demoing his game off. That was my biggest takeaway. Oh, and that Bandai Namco was developing this, which had already been pretty obvious. But outside of that, the other big takeaway was how many characters are in the game, including multiple who are from releases after Sakurai finished developing the series. This included Bandana Waddle Dee and even Megalore. Over the entire Direct, we then got multiple new looks at other characters and what made them all different from one another. We also now know that every character can use copy abilities, which does sort of change Kirby canon, I guess. Then came looks at courses. The environments are very beautiful, and serene looking. In my notes on the Direct, I wrote about how much charm the game seems to have, because the entire presentation I felt interested in what I was seeing. I couldn't stop smiling at how amazing it felt to see a brand new Kirby experience. Every minute of the presentation was just fun to watch. I liked what I saw on screen. I liked the little jokes Sakurai had, and yeah, I liked the game. After the Direct, the game's price and file size was revealed. It's $70 US and 25 gigabytes. I won't have any comments on the price for now, though it is pretty steep. $70 is a little bit high for a Kirby game in 2025. 25 gigabytes also seems a little large for a Nintendo game. Sadly, I don't think there's going to be a single player mode to Air Riders, though the teaser at the end will potentially bode well for the full release. But overall, even if there isn't a story mode, it feels like there's so much packed into this game. Hopefully there's enough content to justify the $70 price tag. At the very least, it's cheaper than Mario Kart World. There are a ton of characters, there's a ton of content, and a ton of machines to ride around that are all uniquely tuned per character. There's a bunch of courses that are all intricately designed and look better than many Mario Kart courses, and City Trial looks super fun. Overall, I was pleased with what we saw. Air Riders' gameplay was very different from every racing game in the industry. Now with the usual Sakurai 2-button setup, expanding on the GameCube's original 1-button playstyle. City Trial can have 16 players in total, and was modernized. You can pick which mode you want to play, and it allows every player to choose whichever one they want as well. Meaning, there's a level of freedom to picking modes. There's also events that happen randomly, and as always, the gameplay looks very chaotic, and most importantly fun. I don't know if I'm gonna love Kirby Air Riders the same way I love the rest of the series, but I am excited to play it and I will be picking it up, obviously. We now know that it's out on November 20th this year, which is a little far out. Sadly, I was hoping for an October release, but I have my faith that Sakurai will pull through again with another incredible game. If this means Smash Bros comes out later, I am perfectly content with that, because I'm glad that he's making a game that he wanted to make, and I'm glad that I get to play a game that I want to play. I love Kirby, and Kirby fans always eat good. We get a ton of releases that are usually pretty great, so hopefully this will be another one to add to the pile. Regardless of if Air Riders comes out well, Forgotten Land is still getting a Switch 2 edition this month, so Kirby fans continue to eat good. We didn't get a lot of new reveals in this Direct, it was mainly highlighting what makes Kirby Air Ride unique. I can only hope that in the future we get a glimpse at a possible amiibo or other things that I would have liked to see. We did get a new Kirby song and glimpse at Dark Matter, So you win some and lose some, and this direct had a lot more wins than losses. Was it just an excuse for Sakurai to play his game on stream? Probably. To crack jokes about Mario Kart? Most likely. But it was a good excuse to watch, and I'm very much excited for the full game after watching it. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you thought about the Kirby Air Riders direct in the comments below. Leave a like for engagement. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to my channel for more. I'll be playing the game when it comes out and doing some sort of videos on it, so if you want to see that, once again, subscribe. Check out the videos on screen now, and I hope you have a great day.